DC is changing yet again as The Flash releases this week.
Because the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change.
This new movie wasn't all fun and games to get it off the ground, however. Several writers and directors passed through before the studio finally landed on Andy Muschietti to helm the project. But after all that time and all the hype that The Flash has received since her rough cut debuted at CinemaCon, does it live up to expectations? Here's our review for The Flash. To begin, The Flash is definitely a fun and entertaining watch. It's much more like a Marvel movie than the previous DC films, so if that's your thing, then you're probably going to like this one. Ezra Miller stars as not one but two versions of Barry Allen and does a good job with both. Miller is full of controversy at the moment because of their off-screen behavior, and it's hard not to be reminded of that at times during The Flash, particularly towards the beginning of the film. Although you can definitely see why Warner Brothers simply couldn't recast Miller after their legal troubles began, as some people suggested last year. That's because Ezra Miller is in this film for almost every shot of the movie. And they are a genuinely good Flash. But the question that many might be asking is, are they better than Grant Gustin from the Flash TV show? The answer to that question is complicated. Miller doesn't feel quite as natural in the role at the beginning of the film when the story is low level. In those situations, Grant Gustin seems far better in the show. However, Miller definitely gets better when the film dives into the multiverse. And speaking of the multiverse, there are two major players that arrive from alternate universes, Michael Keaton's Batman and a brand new Supergirl. And Michael Keaton is great in this film. He's the classic version of the character from 30 years ago, but older and wiser.
Yeah. I'm Batman.
Meanwhile, the new Supergirl is terrific. She's a spin on the Henry Cavill character, but does actually feel like they could be cousins. It's also completely different to the Supergirl on the CW show, so it does feel fresh and new. But watching this film, you can't help but see what the old regime at DC were planning with Michael Keaton's Batman and this new Supergirl. It's abundantly clear that they were being set up to be big parts of this new universe, which feels like a shame and a wasted opportunity given how good they are in this film. And the biggest negative by far of this film is the CGI. The special effects in The Flash are genuinely awful at times, and it's easily the worst looking blockbuster in modern times. It's a shame because of the talented VFX artists that clearly put their heart and soul into this story, but it just doesn't come off as the studio would have hoped. That is why we give The Flash an 8 out of 10.